Hello wonderful little beans, my name is B and welcome back to my channel.
This might look just like any other Roblox creator, but behind this cheerful intro, there are allegations that can change almost everything. BeaPlays is a Roblox YouTuber whose content has always been aimed at kids, and that's exactly what makes these allegations so concerning. From Minecraft streams to Royale High videos and now Dress to Impress, Bea has managed to move from one controversy to the next, switching games each time and somehow clearing her name. But this time, it looks like she's caught in a scandal that she might not be able to escape. So what's the controversy that's left BeaPlays scrambling? Shutting off her comments, vanishing from YouTube, and now applying for jobs? What is it? Okay, so part of the reason this all blew up is clickbait, which, let's be honest, is nothing new for BeaPlays. Like, she always does this. I wasn't even surprised when she hyped up TTI players with a promise of meeting Lady Gaga, only for it to end up being the same old story. Influencers got in, a handful of regular players barely did, and of course Gigi was there. And DTI claiming they were less drama-filled than Royale High? Please. The irony is that they've managed to be 100 times worse. The other reason is much darker, forcing us to ask, who even are these big YouTubers behind the screen? Before diving into this, I want to thank Logan for coming forward and sharing his story about BeaPlays. Speaking out is never easy, especially when the person you're talking about is a big YouTuber and has thousands of loyal fans. Logan became close friends with BeaPlays back when she still was making Minecraft content before her shift into Roblox. He started out as a fan, joining her Minecraft Discord server, and eventually becoming part of her friend group. The two bonded over playing Minecraft together, and Bea even helped make his thumbnails and edit his videos and encouraging his channel. And over time, their whole group grew tight-knit, often spending nights on long calls together. But only after a few months after meeting him, Bea confessed she liked Logan as more than a friend. At that time, Logan was just 16, while Bea was 20. Keep in mind, the age of consent in the US is 18. Even if it is 16 in the UK, it doesn't change the reality. Point blank, a grown adult pursuing a high school student is unacceptable. Logan rejected her, but these kind of conversations happen multiple times during their so-called friendship. Bea and Logan continued collaborating on content and playing games together. Logan later revealed that 90% of his income he made on Twitch came directly from her. She frequently sent him subs and bits and even went so far as to create fake accounts to make it look like his channel had more support than it actually did. Something Logan only discovered afterwards. He states, "She would sexualize me to some of our friends in her friend group at the time. Keep in mind, I was still 16. Here's proof of her sexualizing me and some random screenshots I found." Now I want you guys to keep in mind that deleted user is BeaPlays account because she deleted her Discord account after their friendship ended. I will now show the photos. Logan went by Galaxy's 18 and you'll see in the screenshots if you're confused. In the first photo you're seeing right now, Bea says, "Don't fall back to sleep. You'll miss the recording. I'll show you my if you wake up. We'll rub your if you wake back up." Honestly, this picture is so disturbing. Bea was 20 during this time, a grown adult making these horrible and funny jokes to a minor. Disgusting. I'm going to be reading the next screenshot now. BeaPlays says, "Look at him," with a picture of Logan. "I know, it makes me go crazy because he's actually like the most attractive man I've ever seen, and I'm not even joking." The friend says, "How does he even do that, literally?" Bea says, "Genetics, man." And the other person says, "He moved. That jawline was fire though." Bea says, "Honestly." This whole situation is so weird because it's just her obsessing over Logan to one of her friends. The way she describes Logan is very alarming, and if you don't think this is alarming, think about it this way. A 20-year-old grown man calling a 16-year-old girl the most attractive woman he's ever seen. This is so disgusting. Be ready for the next screenshot though, because it's horrible. Genuinely horrible. BeaPlays says, "I woke up feeling so bad this morning. Headaches, sick, anxiety up the wall. I'm not letting this person make me feel this way. The first thing my mom said was, 'He's 16. What are they on? Even if you are dating, that's your business. Tell me where they live and I'll sort it out.'" Friend says, "I love your mom for the honesty. Bless her heart, but the thing is, the American right, isn't their legal age 18, so they see Logan as a minor when he's not?" Bea says, "In Logan's state, it's 16 for consent, so same as here." Friend says, "Whatever." And Bea says, "In most states, it's 16, in one, it's 14. This entire conversation is pure delusion. Logan had already rejected Bea multiple times, yet she kept pushing and making advances. She even tried to justify her feelings, but it just comes off as corny and disturbing. Bea, you are 20 years old. Logan was 16, a high schooler, still a kid, whose brain wasn't even fully developed, and you're pursuing him? Like, seriously, you cannot be for real. The situation is beyond inappropriate, and unfortunately, it does not stop here. It only gets worse. The next photo I'm about to show is really weird and off-putting. The scribbled photo is Logan, and Bea was sending it around to her friends, sexualizing him. He's 16, you're 20. This is just so insane. The next photo is, I guess, Bea obsessing about Logan again. She says, "Am I ridiculous for having a constant fear inside me that Logan will get closer to his cousins and real-life friends and slowly replace me? I feel so emotional when he's not here, and right now I feel so empty inside, and I know it's really unhealthy for me to feel this way, but I just love him so much, and I just feel really paranoid about him leaving. You're the only one who really sees what we're like for long periods. Do you think he feels the same for me as I feel for our friendship? I don't mind if he wants to come here and we're roommates, but I need my life to stop being all about him. But how do I do that when I still feel the same way about him as I always have? And that's why I let him control everything I do, even if he doesn't know he is." Why is a 20-year-old so deeply fixated on a 16-year-old? You're an adult being this fixated on a high schooler? It's incredibly alarming, and honestly, I feel awful for Logan. But now let's get into the rest of Logan's experience with BeaPlays, because from here, things take an even darker turn, okay? He states, quote-unquote, "She knew I wanted more money, and she used that to her advantage. She was around me often, and I got used to it. I thought the things that she said were just funny and stupid stuff most of the time. We were joking around one night and said I wouldn't send a D picture. Eventually, I sent her the picture. She was completely okay with it and asked for more. She offered me money, so of course I agreed, because I wanted it to better my setup for my content creation. There were multiple videos, pictures sent, and I received thousands of dollars. That is not an over-exaggeration at all. The most expensive things I can think of are my Razer laptop, Razer keyboard, Razer mouse, and a plane ticket to the UK. That's not including the several hundred subs she sent me and bits on Twitch. She would also PayPal me money too. I was okay with it at the time, but I definitely regret it now that I'm older and I can see what really was happening. When I was 18, I eventually went to UK and lived with her for almost 5 months. I stopped streaming within 3 months of me being there, I believe. When I got there, the entire dynamic changed. Within the first week of me being there, she was already trying to have a relationship with me. After I asked her before I left America if she still felt that way about me, and she said no. I was barely making a payout on Twitch, which was $100 at the time. Lots of my viewers who were supporting me were just her on her fakes. There was no need for her to send me money because I was there. That's all she ever wanted. I remember very well her offering me money if she could do some sexual things to me. We did that for a while, and I'm very embarrassed and ashamed to admit that. She took me on a shopping spree and everything, but it wasn't out of the goodness of her heart. When we would go out to drink, she would always go to the bar and order mine for me. I never thought anything of it, just because she would pay for everything, because that's just how it was. But it was also easier that way. I found out after several nights out that she was ordering me doubles. I never asked for that. Her family even told her to stop. One night we got really drunk and she kept trying to do sexual things to me even though I did not want to. When I told her I wanted to come home, it was like pulling teeth to get her to help me. COVID was still a thing, and it was making it a little complicated for me to come back. It also didn't help that I refused to tell my family what was going on. I got myself into a mess, and I was going to figure it out. For the first time, I felt trapped, and it was so hard trying to get home because of her. When I got back to America, I tried my best to move on from the last few years I wasted, but I just couldn't. I eventually messaged her to talk. I didn't want to talk to her about everything at that time, as I was just trying to keep the peace. I wanted to keep the peace just because I never wanted to be on her bad side. Still to this day, I don't want to be on her bad side. We went a while with no contact, but eventually I messaged her again. I sent her a huge message explaining every single thing I could think of. It took me literal days to type up. Everything that kept me at night for months. Of course, she just apologized and was passive-aggressive about it all. She didn't even acknowledge most of the stuff I sent her. I felt like I wasted my time, but I was hoping it would make me feel better after confronting her, and it did help temporarily. That was Logan's story about BeaPlays. Reading this, it just makes me feel sick to my stomach. I'm so sorry you had to go through that, Logan. You were 16 during the time she first talked to you, and she was just a grown adult. I digged around Twitter and found Bea mentioning Logan before. This was real. Grooming and sexual exploitation are issues that happen every single day. With the internet continuing to grow, predators now have even more ways to lure and manipulate children. BeaPlays was a YouTuber whose content was aimed at kids, yet she made advances on a minor, grooming him and even flying him out to the UK to act on her harmful intentions. This is a reminder that we really do not know the real personality behind big YouTubers. Never judge a book by its cover. You don't know who someone really is. I want to end this by saying I hope everyone stays safe online, and thank you to Logan for having the courage to share his story. It's never easy to come forward, especially in a situation like this. Thank you for watching.